I want to SPR Sports Picks. He's Mike Brenner. I'm Peter Loshak. We're the Odds Couple. It's week 7 in the NFL. We are doing our regular early week call with Jordan Sharp, looking back at the injuries from the previous week in the NFL, week 6. Jordan Sharp, thanks for being with us. I'm looking down obviously there was a huge one with Ben Roethlisberger. The Packers have a couple of injuries that are concerning, especially with a short week. But other than that, am I missing something, or are there not too many big injuries this week? Do you have anything besides that, Mike Brenner?
No, I'm wondering the same. I think I'm wondering about this Packers injury update.
Yeah,
also.
Jordan Sharp. I'm definitely seeing stuff for the Packers. Obviously, Roethlisberger, we'll discuss that. A couple of other minor ones, but guys who returned to the games. Is there anything that I'm not seeing?
I think the only other, if you want to put the big injuries, the headline injuries outside of Ben Roethlisberger, there were a couple on defense. I think that could really hurt some of the potential for some of these defenses to really have an impact here this week. I think Terrell Suggs and Jimmy Smith for the Ravens is the biggest one. Those two guys, I think, and then Michael Bennett for the Seahawks also, I think, is a pretty big injury for them.
Well, yeah, but he's. I've been reading that he's going to play this week.
That's what I heard.
That's right. Yeah, he did say he's going to play.
Yeah, so if he's playing, that's nothing. Yeah. All right, well then let's start with Roethlisberger. Obviously, Pitt is a 7.5 point home dog to the Pats. Although that line has gone down a little bit. How long is he going to be out? Is he out for the year, or is he out for? No, I think he was out for just.
I'm here 2 weeks, and then I heard 4 weeks.
How long is he out, Jordan?
Well, so I think they have this game and they have a bye, and then so I've heard he's potentially going to try to come back after that bye week. So he may only miss one game. I don't really know meniscus clipping, the whole thing where it's versus repair. I don't know the timetable. So I think potentially though he might only miss one game. I mean that's pretty big.
All right. Well, this game, let's talk about it. I mean Landry Jones, I think is going to be his backup, right, Jordan?
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of interested to see what you guys have to think about this game, too, because I was looking at this before we got on. This total's going down a little bit, down to 45 on a hook. Are we convinced the Pittsburgh offense is going to be that bad? And with, I think they're dealing with injury as well to their defense. I mean, could this potentially still be a high-scoring game? Are we getting value on this total because Ben Roethlisberger's out on the over?
I think so, yeah. I'm going to probably be on the over officially.
I'm getting the same vibes. Yeah. I really am.
Okay, yeah. Could be. Now, do you think a lot of that's going to be from a breakout running game from our wonderful running back for the Steelers that really got locked down last week? Or is this going to be Landry Jones figuring it out and having an air attack?
I think a little bit of both.
Yeah,
because I wasn't impressed with what I saw last week with Landry Jones, to be honest with you. I think New England's going to come in here and have an excellent game plan, and I think Pittsburgh's a little bit backwards right now. But those injuries, not just Ben, but in the defense, I heard there's 2 spots, one in the secondary. I think that's going to be crucial.
I also think that this is a big game. I think just for New England, even without Ben Roethlisberger, they get kind of lucky. But I think they can make a statement. I mean, this potentially is a preview for the AFC Championship game. If Ben Roethlisberger can come back and play, this could be a big statement game. I could see Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, and those guys just opening up in this one and putting up a lot of points on the board too. That plays into this as well. All
right. Well, listen. Last week there were a lot of big favorites that suckered in the public, but one that didn't was the Pats. You better get bet against all these big the Bengals, the Lions, whatever you want to do, but don't bet against the Pats even when they're given 14 points, whatever. The Pats are a dangerous team to bet against, and I think this is the same type of situation here. There's no way I could touch the Steelers. For me, it's either Pats or nothing.
Oh, there's no doubt, and there's another thing Jordan just touched on. It could be a statement game. There's no doubt. Even if they weren't going to Pittsburgh, it's a Tom Brady statement game, and that makes it even more dangerous. This guy has a chip on his shoulder still the size of Wisconsin, and he's not going to stop chipping away. Dangerous team, great coach. Look out, buddy. I'm telling you.
All right, and speaking about big favorites that might be worth a fade, I don't know. The Packers are one of those kinds of teams that right about now, when they're giving a lot of points, you don't necessarily want to be jumping all over. They're giving a lot of points to the Bears, and they have, their top 3 cornerbacks are banged up now, right? Demarius Randall got banged up in the last game, and then there was an injury with Devontae Adams. He's saying he doesn't have a concussion, but it's a short week. It's not good for a receiver on a short week to take a big hit like that. In general, the Packers are pretty banged up, right?
And they also might not have a running game because Eddie Lacy still isn't practicing.
Right.
They signed Niall Davis. That's how low on the depth chart we've gotten for the Green Bay Packers running game here. They have signed Niall Davis, folks. It's gonna. I mean, I don't want to say that the Bears are a value right now because I'm kind of still looking at this game, but I'm sure leaning that way at this point.
Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, Aaron Rodgers, is he the kind of quarterback who can make up for all that right now? Maybe not.
I don't think so. I think we've seen Rodgers. I don't mean to cut you off, Pete. I think we've seen Rodgers in a pattern of just going backwards for a while. Now I think it's more mental than anything else. But one thing I know is you got a coach on the other side with a 1-4 or 1-5 Bears, whatever they are, that's absolutely on a steaming hot seat. So if he has any game he needs to win, this is going to be the one. So if I had to back anything, I probably would take the Bears because the Packers, they're a mess.
Yeah, all right. Packers bitten by the injury bug. The Steelers lost Ben Roethlisberger. Anything else you want to touch on?
I mean, I'm kind of hesitant to believe that the New York Jets have any sort of value this week. But I mean, Baltimore hasn't been playing either. Do you guys have any? Is this like a stay away game for you guys?
Stay the hell away from that one. Yeah.
I mean, at some point,
feeling of that too.
At some point, the Jets are going to stop being undervalued or overvalued, and will at least be not a good fade or possibly a good bet on. Now, is that going to come in the near future? Probably not. Maybe it'll be like much later in the year. But they're not going to keep being a good bet against week after week after week.
No, and a report I got was that Todd Bowles, he didn't even make it back on the plane last night. He stayed in Arizona. There's something going on, guys. I'm not.
Yeah.
But he used to live there, so I think it's something that he used to coach there. So I don't know that. Woo.
Yeah, definitely. If you're having a few injury concerns as the Ravens are, going up against the Jets is probably as good of a break as you want to hope for right now.
And also, you got a big spat going on with Brandon Marshall and Fitzpatrick. It was started in a huddle. I mean, they literally continued it during formation of a play and then took it to the sideline. So who knows what happened behind closed doors? But there's just a lot of friction there. I think if anything, you go against them. But with Baltimore being a mess, stay the hell off it. 10-foot pole, as Pete says.
Pay attention to the Packers injury updates right up to kickoff for the Thursday night game. And Jordan Sharp, is that about it?
Yeah, just the last thing. I know the Bengals lost their center this past week, and they're 10.5 favorites at home against the Browns. I don't know about Russell Bodine's status, but he didn't come back in that game, so that's something to watch, I think, as well, because that could kind of mess up this Bengals offense even more. Yeah. Potentially 10.5 is a lot of points against a Browns team that we've seen has the ability to play good. I think that's really the last thing I was looking at.
Well, you know what? I got to say this real quick because Pete just touched on this last week when it was Mangold who was out, and Pete said that is one of the most under the radar, most crucial positions on a team. So, bam, there you go.
Yeah, and the Bengals offense hasn't really been clicking this year either anyway. So, to start, maybe the Bears, but last week Doug Upzone recommended Cleveland as a good big underdog play. Maybe he will again this week.
I'm wondering about that.
What do you think? We'll see. Tune into the Doug Upzone show later on today. We'll be filming it. Jordan Sharp, thanks so much. As always, we'll be back again next week for the injury update for NFL Week 8.
Thanks, Jordan.
Do your research before you bet. Check out our ratings guide to see which books have the best ratings and sign-up bonuses. Open up several accounts. Shop for lines at sbrodds.com. Always be ahead of the game.